What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Critics Play Games podcast. It's the second episode of kind of the reboot of this all going on, and we got Patrick, we got Christian, no Brett. We were planning to introduce Brett on here because he joined the channel, and then Leo has sadly gone on his own way. But it's definitely going to be us for creating content, creating fun things, and talking video games over here. But on my side over here, we have Patrick. Patrick, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. My day's just starting. It's nice, bright, and early. Brewed myself a cup of coffee. Can't complain.
Love it. And Christian, what about you, man? It's been a while. Steelers, man. I love the Steelers on the chair.
I know. Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm doing fine myself. Thank you for asking. Yeah. It's been crazy, you know. I mean, there's so much out right now, and I'm like, I feel like I'm.
And there's more.
I know.
More coming out. Like when it comes to the movies and games, dude, it's like very overwhelming.
Like, thank God Hogwarts Legacy got pushed back.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, same. That's why I was like, okay, this month I just got Overwatch and Modern Warfare. Next month I have God of War, and the month after that I have Callisto. And then I'm like,
we got like Final Fantasy Crisis Core.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that one too.
Hang on. Are you and I still fighting over who gets to do Callisto, Zach?
No, why don't we just both do it?
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say.
Like, yeah, why don't we both just do it? I mean, you can make you can make a separate video. I don't give a fuck, but yeah, like you'll probably end up beating it before me anyways. But I mean,
I'm taking that week off of work for my birthday and that game coming out. Like I've reassured that I've blocked off that weekend.
Treat yourself.
God of War off. Yeah, see, I took God of War off. That was the one I took off.
I'm thinking about it, but it's like it comes out on a Wednesday. I'm like, why is it?
That's why I was like, I'll just take a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and then play the game. That's like
I might do Thursday, Friday, and then just coast through because it comes out on Wednesday, and I might do Thursday, Friday. And
Smart. It is weird that it's come out. Most games either come out Tuesday or Friday, so I don't know.
It used to be, yeah.
Yeah, but we have a fun podcast today. We're going to be mostly talking about The Last of Us Part 1. We're going to talk about, is it actually worth your money? We're going to talk about some upcoming games. Cyberpunk is actually having a comeback. And maybe Disney even wants some more Star Wars games. But with that said, let's jump into the intro. And we're back, and every time I love doing that because I can see everyone's cameras, and I just see Patrick like completely going off and dancing in his little quarters. So I love it.
I like jamming out. Okay, good music gives me a vibe. Even the My Hero intro for season 6, which I was bagging the shit out of, was actually really good. The moment I heard the full thing,
I gotta watch it.
I need to watch
dancing along too. It's not filler for once. Holy shit, Toei didn't lie to us for once.
Hey, there you go, man. I'm all for that. But, you know, with every time we start one of these, I love to kind of catch up with you guys and see what kind of games are you guys playing right now. I'll start with Christian this time around. Christian, what are you playing right now? You playing anything?
Yeah, I'm attempting or trying. I've been trying to beat Horizon Forbidden West.
I was about to ask you if you finally beat it or
not.
Nope,
it hasn't left.
Dude, the ending is so good. The ending is so good.
I need to. I've been trying to go back and replay God of War 2018 because I do want to platinum that game. I have about like maybe half of the trophies, so I kind of want to finish the rest, but we'll see. It just depends. I'm really kind of just waiting to play Gotham Knights and A Plague Tale in this Requiem.
Right, this one's Requiem.
Yeah. Requiem, that's right. Yeah. Those are the two games I'm waiting for right now.
That comes out next week, right? Plague Tale, or is it
I think so. Yeah, okay. I think it's next week, and then Gotham Knights sometime this month in October, and then of course God of War in November, and probably Final Fantasy Crisis Core in December. I feel like I've ever since I platinumed The Last of Us Part 1 remake. I was like, I think I'm done for now, but I wanted to play God of War, so I wasn't entirely sure. But that's like kind of on my docket right now.
Okay. Patrick, what about you? What games are you playing right now?
For me, it's just a struggle in general to play video games nowadays because of my schedule. I work 6 days on, 3 days off, and on those 3 days off, all I'm doing is editing content for my own channel or preparing a video for Critics Play Games or thinking in advance. So I've been playing the Outlast games again because the Outlast, the Outlast Trials beta comes out at the end of this month that you had to sign up for after that announcement happened a little while ago on the Steam page, and I did sign up, so I'm super excited to play that if I'm chosen. But when that game comes out, I'm already writing like an in-depth analysis of all 3 games leading up to it, which I'm excited for. I've also been replaying The Evil Within 2 to talk about the perfect horror game sequel to follow up my The Evil Within video that I did last month, which still very proud of that video, very happy with it. And I wanted to follow it up with The Evil Within 2 because it took me years to get to it, and I played it and I absolutely loved it. I think they improved every single way on the downsides of the first game, which is upsetting for me to say because I love Shinji Mikami, but can't win it all, Shinji. This is what you get for doing Goof Troop at the beginning of your career.
Goof Troop.
Yes, Goof Troop for the PS1, and then he did Resident Evil.
I remember that game.
That's fucking insane. I love that game, man. I fucking love that game.
It's fun. It's fun, even if it is a bit of a mess.
Yeah,
it's fun.
But that's how a lot of those PlayStation 1 games were. But kind of
for sure.
Yeah, kind of like the same like with you guys. I just went back through God of War 2018. Loved it. I was gonna platinum it, but then I was looking at the platinums. I'm like, I don't got the time for that. So then I started God of War Ascension because I'm gonna do a ranking for the channel. So I'm going back through each of them. Never played Ascension. It's actually not that bad. The story's kind of boring, but like the combat is like really awesome. And
OG Kratos.
It's really good to see how a lot of the trailers for Ragnarok so far have shown it's both combats put together, which I'm really liking that. So if they kind of infuse that stuff, I'd love it, because I still think, like, even though I think Ascension is like the weakest when it comes to story wise, the combat is easily the best in there. Like just the ways that you can flick the sticks and move, it is really fun. Even though I prefer the way that 2018 kind of has the back. I don't like hack and slash games all too much. I got out of that phase about 5-6 years ago. So
Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, dude, I buy every. I used to play every Dynasty Warriors.
Same.
And then I got Hyrule Warriors, and I still haven't even played those. But played Last of Us Part 1, of course. We're going to talk about that. Been playing a lot of Destiny 2, back into that. But this is my final season, and I'm going to take like a couple months off from it before the big add-on comes out in February.
Oh, yeah.
Played the Modern Warfare beta, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit. Played a little bit of Overwatch because the new one's coming out, and I want to kind of refresh myself before going into there, and I'm hyped because I love Overwatch. That first game I looked at the hours I'd played, and I felt kind of sick. It's kind of gross how many hours I put in that game.
How many?
I can't
wait. How many hours?
It's in the 2000s. And like almost 1,000. Yeah, and almost 1,000 of that was like in a year and a half. So but I haven't played it. Like, this is the first time I've been playing it for like the last 2 years. And
a mate of mine has that on Genshin Impact, but a lot of that is just by buying crates or whatever to microtransactions.
There's that. And then Disney Dreamlight Valley. When I just want to relax and really not think about anything, I just go around and do my shit. That's about it. And a little bit of the new Mario soccer game. I always buy
Mario Strikers.
Yeah, it's fun. I forget how fucking hard it is, but it's fun for sure. So I'm enjoying that. Yeah, but Christian, you definitely need to beat Horizon because our review is very delayed in that.
I know. I know. It was, oh my gosh, because I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna beat it. And then I got like maybe I think I'm a third of the way through.
Where are you at? Do you remember? I can tell you how far you are.
Spoilers.
I established like where the base is, and I have to go to Poseidon. I am very early.
Oh, dude, you still have a lot left. I'm not gonna go any more spoilers.
I'm so sorry because I was so Christian, determined. Like, I have the thumbnail ready and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we need to get this done.
When he has the thumbnail ready before completing like a tens of hours video game.
For some reason, I don't know why, but I will get on it.
But you know what's funny? How you played that game is how I played the first one. That first one took me months to beat. Like, I
blew through the first one.
I did
it. It took me months to play it, and then I finally was like, all right, I'm gonna go back and beat this. And I sat down and like did it in like a month. This game, I blew what?
I played an hour of the first one, and I never came back to it.
The second one's way better when it comes to combat because I can't
really, because that's what put me off. That first one, the combat was fucking clunky.
The second one's fantastic. Like, everything is like the second one, I would argue, is the best game on the PS5 right now.
I can understand like the whole bow and arrow is like your main, like it can be annoying because I didn't really like that at first. I'm not sure if I like it now or if I'm just used to it. So
So I dig it, man. I really love this last one. And
I'll play that over Days Gone, so I'm good.
Oh, fuck you, man. Days Gone's so underrated. I will argue that till I'm blue in the face.
I made it 10 minutes into Days Gone and I never continued.
Doesn't count. That's not a fair trial. 10 minutes is not a fair trial.
That's true.
Yeah,
No, it's not. And I'll admit that. I got bored when I was driving that motorcycle. I was just like, no.
I did too. I was like, I played about an hour. I was like,
well, and I'll say that, dude. For the first hour, I'm like, I'm not riding this fucking motorcycle. It doesn't even work. It's fucking broken.
Bro, I didn't know Daryl Dixon. Get me out of here.
My first upgrade was literally everything for the motorcycle, and then an hour after, I was like, okay, this thing actually works now. I can actually drive it around. So it's cool on that part. But the other thing I want to mention before we get into this is, guys, we're 99 subs away. As of recording this, we are 99 subs away from 1K. So, hey, there we go. It's pretty exciting, 99 subs, man.
I think it'll be more exciting when we hit 69 subs before 1,000.
69 subs. You can track that and let us know.
I'll track it and I'll screenshot it, and then I'll screenshot it again when we're at 969 subs.
At one point, we were at 696, I remember.
I think so, yeah.
And I thought it was funny. And I really didn't want it to go over.
And then your fiance walked out the door because she thought you were childish.
Yeah, no, she thinks that shit's funny. But that's where we lead into. I want to start out. There's a lot of upcoming games. We're only talking about October because October is kind of stacked. Every week has something. Plague Tale, you're excited for Christian. I've never played the first one, so I don't have a lot of thoughts on that.
It's good.
Overwatch comes out on Tuesday. Modern Warfare 2 comes out at the end of the month. Gotham Knights. Am I missing anything, or are those the four big games?
There's a few, dude. There's so much.
Wasn't the One Piece Odyssey game coming out this month?
Yeah, but I don't really care about.
Sackboy is coming to PC as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Bayonetta 3 as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's so many things. We were supposed to get. Oh yeah. We were supposed to get. We were also.
Resident Evil's add-on.
Yeah.
I'll cover it, I guess.
New Tales from the Borderlands as well.
Oh, sorry. Okay. My bad.
No, you're all good. I have the whole list right here, so I can kind of go through it. So in the first week, we have I'm only gonna go on the big ones. Nier Ultimatum is finally coming to Switch. No Man's Sky is finally coming to Switch. No More Heroes 3 is finally coming to every other console. Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed is kind of a big one, I guess, that a lot of people are talking about, and then a Plague Tale. So anything you guys are kind of excited for?
Plague Tale. And then isn't Gotham Knights is coming out this month, is it? Or is that November?
Gotham Knights is the 8th,
that's this.
I think.
That's this month. I canceled my pre-order ages ago.
No,
isn't
right.
the Persona 5 Royal coming out to PC, PS5 and that?
Yeah,
it's coming. Yes. And I want to touch on that really quick. There is for anyone out there listening or watching, there's no upgrade path for PS4 to PS5. They want you to buy the game all over again. But it is coming to Game Pass on PC and Game Pass for console, and it'll be.
So is this the best version of Persona 5? Should I buy this version to play? Because I have the original, but I never played it.
Play Royal over the original.
Okay.
It's packed with so much more. It's so much better. I mean, the Persona 5, excuse me, is really good, but Royal is it's leagues better. It's so good.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, that makes me excited. Have you ever played Persona, Patrick, or no?
Yeah, I've played Persona. I really like it.
Okay.
I thought the anime adaptation wasn't too bad either. I just need to put that out there. I thought it was fun.
Okay, fair enough. I literally know nothing about Persona. I do want to talk about Overwatch 2 real fast, though. I know there's been some controversies. One of the biggest news things that Brett actually covered on his news segment every week, which is really cool. I like how he does his videos. They're not allowed. If you've never played Overwatch before, you don't get all the heroes right off the bat.
What?
A lot of people don't like that. I'm sorry. A lot of people don't like that. I don't mind that.
Because it's free to play. It's free to play. That's why.
But I also don't mind that because, I've played it. I put in the fucking hours.
So this is this isn't like an update for Overwatch.
No, this is a brand new game.
On
Tuesday,
separate.
Overwatch. Okay. You can't even buy Overwatch anymore. It's done. You either own it or you can't. And then on Tuesday, from my understanding, I think the servers are shutting down. So that's it.
No.
That's hilarious.
Everything's moving over. All your skins, everything moves over.
All the servers are shutting down too.
Yeah. But
so even you have the physical game.
Yeah, but all your stuff that you own is moving over to the second one.
Okay, that's not
So
bad.
like
So it is free to play.
I mean, technically, it's another way for them to take my money because now they're just doing season passes and stuff. But I'm open to it. I'm happy it's free to play because then I get to play it. It's literally going to be the same game with just more heroes and more content, and I'm excited to see how they do it. I'm a big fan of why am I blanking on the company? Blizzard. Even if they have a lot of shit behind them, specifically that mobile game that came out. So, but I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. If you guys are going to be playing Overwatch 2, it's free. So
I'm going to give it a go. I'm definitely going to give it a go for sure. I had it on my Xbox for a bit. I also have it on my PC. So I sold my Xbox. So that's on my PC now. Okay. So yeah.
Patrick, what about you?
I never played the original Overwatch just because it wasn't appealing to me. I've never really enjoyed these types of shooter games, so therefore I just never touched it, and I probably won't touch this one either. So I'm not really going to comment over the quality of it. I just like to make fun of that song that came out a few years about all the different characters and how they want to be Mercy and everything. And it's just Christian knows what I'm talking about.
No idea.
I know what he's talking about.
I want to be Tracer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to be a Widowmaker.
Okay, I hate that fucking song.
It's funny though. It's
playing that in front of Overwatch fans was always the funniest thing to piss them off.
So annoying. The next thing, Dying Light 2 is getting its big add-on. I don't know if did you guys ever play Dying Light 2? Did you? Okay, I really dug it.
The first one.
I thought Patrick had. I thought he was a horror expert here.
I thought so too.
I never got into it. I watched Dying Light back in the day when it first came out, but I never played the first game itself because it came out at a time where I was too young and my mom's like, zombie shit is stupid. So I couldn't buy it because it was rated too high and I just never got around to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Next up, Gotham Knights. I think Christian's very excited. I'm going to say this. I have not been impressed whatsoever by anything about this game.
No.
Fair enough. I'm not either, but I bought it, so I'm a shell.
But something deep down, I'm going to be honest with you guys, something deep down, and maybe I'll be wrong. Like, you can fucking repost this with a fucking picture of my face dressed as a clown when I say this, but I think the reviews are actually going to be really good for this. I think from what we've seen, a lot of it's compressed and maybe it's just different than what people were expecting. But the open world aspect is the thing that has made me go back and think, okay, this could be actually like really cool. So, and like the fact that like me and Christian could play this game and Christian could go do all of his own missions and I could be in his same world doing other shit. Like that is like really interesting to me on that level. Because a lot of open world co-op games like that don't allow you can only go so far from your friend. Like Dying Light's like that. Like if I'm in my friend's Dying Light world, I can't just go do missions without him. I can go do, I can go kill things, but for the most part, I have to follow him.
Right. Kind of like Borderlands almost in a way. Kind of.
Yeah. So I really like the idea for this. So deep down, something's telling me, I think this is going to be one of those games that comes out and then everyone plays it and they're like, this is actually really good. There's some choices that they've made overall, but like, I'll tell you, I don't have it pre-ordered, but if the reviews come out and they're a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, I will go buy it first day. I will go to the store and buy it first day. Patrick, do you have any thoughts for this? I'll
probably still wait for sales because like I pre-ordered the collector's edition ages ago, but when I saw like a lot of the gameplay and a lot of the choices that they made, I've been like, yeah, nah, fam, I'm not spending $500 on this, nor even like $125, which is what they're asking for us here. I'll just wait and see what the reviews are, what the reception is, and if the reception's good, maybe at like the Christmas sales, I'll purchase it and give it a go, see how it is, and yeah, if I really like it, I'll keep supporting it and everything with further updates and expansions. But if not, then it is what it is. Like, I'll still give it a go eventually. I'd just rather wait for a sale from what I've seen.
Okay. And Christian, I know, like you said, you were excited. So, like, do you have any other thoughts for it?
So I was able to pre-order it through Green Man Gaming, which is kind of like a PC thing. So I was able to pre-order for like $45 altogether. Just a standard copy, $45 for a
That's
CD.
not bad.
I like the choices that they're making here. I do agree where some people are saying that, the combat doesn't look that great, but I'm trying to wait until I can actually feel how the combat is.
Yep.
That's in my hand. That's what I really care about. But I mean, because the first time we saw this game, it was like that one mission with Batgirl, Mr. Freeze. I'm like, this looks amazing. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, everything else they showed, I was like, well, this looks okay, but for some reason, I'm still excited for it. Probably because we never really get to play as like Robin, Nightwing, or Red Hood, or Batman on the video game altogether. I mean, if I enjoy it, I enjoy it. You know, sometimes you got to take gambles on certain things. You know, if you're able to get it for a cheaper price, if you are thinking about buying it, you know, if you have like a local GameStop or like a local mom and pop store that does like trade-ins, you know, and if you really want to play it, you know, try to trade in some old stuff so you don't have to pay as much out of pocket if you are interested in it, or you could just wait for a sale. I know it's easier said than done for a lot of things because, you know, people want to play day one. They want to know what they're missing out on. So, but I'm excited.
Maybe we're not missing out on anything. Maybe it's the biggest piece of shit of the year, you know.
But like
game of the year, Gotham Knights.
The thing is, everyone has like their personal taste as well. Like, even if it's a game that looks mediocre, like for me personally, I know that the fucking next Dark Pictures game is probably going to be subpar like the last 3 games have been, but I'm still going to fucking buy it and play it day one. And I think that's what it boils down to as well as like the certain fan bases and what you're into. Like, for me, not really a massive fan of the Gotham Knights, but I was excited because I love DC and then I saw the gameplay and everything. And I'm like, yeah, nah, fam, I'll wait until the sale comes. Whereas I think like Christian, you're a bigger DC fan than I am and you love these characters a lot more than I do. So that's probably the appeal for you, if I'm not mistaken.
I love the Bat family. It's like I love it.
I'm more interested in Suicide Squad more because
I'm the same.
Like that game just looks like more insanity to me. So I don't know.
And it's actually made by Rocksteady Games, and because
that is true.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Fingers crossed, though. Gotham Knights is great. Up next is Resident Evil Reverse is finally coming out, the online mode as well as the winter.
I'll believe it when I fucking see it. Good God. We've been waiting 18 months. 18 fucking months with my pre-order for Village, and it's still not out. I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
This is why I don't trust Capcom. But I am not going to lie. I am very interested in this winter's expansion. Not for the third-person mode, which I think is cool, and I might play it. I'm more interested for the DLC. I want to see what story you can add to this, because while I think Village has a lot of issues with story-wise, not atmosphere, world, everything of that nature was fucking great. It's the story that fell apart for me, in my opinion, and that's where I think they really need to touch on. Now, I could be wrong. This could be the worst fucking DLC in the entire world, but I really hope this winter's expansion is great. I might hold off on buying this right away, though, just because my friend said if I get the PSVR, he will buy me Village, and then he wants to record me playing the game in VR. Because if I scream that loud with the baby without VR, I'll probably scream even louder with the baby. So I'm interested. Christian, I don't think you really care for Resident Evil, correct?
No, I don't hate the franchise. It's just something I was never interested in. So I just never played. Yeah. I've never played a single Resident Evil. So I'm like, I mean, I'm glad people are excited for it. It's just not my thing.
Patrick?
You guys know by now, I'm a huge RE fan. And to say I disliked Village is putting it lightly, but to say I'm not intrigued by this Rose Winters expansion, knowing that this is the end of the Winters family era within Resident Evil, because that has been confirmed this is the last thing we're going to see of the Winters. I am intrigued to say the least, because I am very worried when we were shown about the whole Rose's powers thing, because I was afraid it was going to be like a fucking Alice from fucking the Resident Evil shitty Paul W. S. Anderson movie situation all over again. Especially when, if you've played RE Village, you know exactly what it was revealed at the end regarding Ethan, and I was not on board with that. It felt thrown in at the last minute. It felt very clunky regarding the narrative.
All story, man. That's all story. They needed to elevate that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping that the Rose expansion does best, because this idea is so fascinating to me, with her going into, I don't remember what it's called. I haven't played Village in fucking ages. I don't want to either, aside from this DLC. But with what you had to destroy at the end of Village, going into that sort of world as Rose to sort of uncover all these mysteries, to use her powers and everything. And it's not going to be first person. It's going to be in third person, because that's now going to be an updated feature for the game itself. For Village,
I think it's dumb that Rose is in third person. It should have been optional for both.
I think it should have been optional, but I like the idea of going back to the third person, because my biggest issue with 7 and 8 is that they were in first person, whereas Resident Evil has always felt more claustrophobic because you're in that third person perspective going through hallways rather than the first person with that lack of perspective. I understand that should be scarier, but it's that fear of like you're walking past a hallway and then behind you from the corner of your eye, you see something pop out in the third person perspective. And that's what's part of the, the terror, or not knowing what's beyond the frame within the older Resident Evil games with the fifth camera angles. It's just, it took away that authenticity for me personally that sort of took me out of it with what the Resident Evil experience has always been. And I'm not saying that change is bad. It's just, I prefer the third person for this franchise. And, I think it should be optional, as you said, though. I think you should have the option to play in first or third, but I like that it's in third. And I am intrigued to see where the story goes. And I hope it elevates the story for what Village was for me to appreciate it more. Because that's my biggest issue with Village is the story.
Hey, man. Fair enough. But there is 2 more games. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, same day, as well as Bayonetta. Now, if you did pre-order Modern Warfare 2 digitally, you get to play the campaign a week early. If you didn't, you got to wait. I did it digitally so I can play it. I want to play, the story. I like the campaigns for Call of Duty. They're fun. I am very interested in this online to see if it actually keeps me attached. I play every Call of Duty. This is the first one I bought in full price, though, in a while. So hopefully it's not shit. $70 is a lot of money for a Call of Duty game. And from what I played in the beta, I liked it. It's different.
I liked it too. I actually really enjoyed it. The movement is also really I like the fact that there is no slide canceling now like there was in Modern Warfare 2019.
It's very
slower.
And
I like it though. I like
it.
There are a lot of maps. But the thing is the slow pace works for a lot of maps, but then the slow pace, especially in the more open maps, felt like I was always walking into a fucking death trap. And it was really frustrating, especially on the 32v32 game mode, which by the way, monster at when I was playing with the marksman rifles. I'm an absolute beast.
Yeah, I asked to say the fact that their ground war mode is better than Battlefield's last 2 games is really fucking sad, but that's just that's just the thing. Christian, you gonna play Call of Duty? You coming back?
I haven't played Call of Duty since Ghosts came out.
Oh god, that was terrible.
Did
you only get Ghosts because it was the first game for the PS4?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry.
I got that, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag,
Killzone.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Knack? Did you get Knack? Did you get Knack?
No.
I got Knack. Did you get Knack, Patrick?
I got Knack. I was a kid and I was going in there to buy the PS4 day one, and I ended up walking in. And what is it? They actually had a display out with the PS4, and they're like, Knack was the only game you could play. And I'm like, Mom, I want Knack. By the way, can I get GTA as well? I bought Knack and GTA as my first 2 PS4 games, which is sort of a weird combination. But yeah, I got Knack. You're damn right, I got Knack.
Yep. And then last but not least, like I mentioned, Bayonetta. Are you guys getting Bayonetta?
I don't have a Switch.
Again, I'm out of the hack and slash, so I love the first 2.
Are you getting Pokemon?
I'll probably buy this one. It's cheaper.
Is that coming in October or is that November?
It's November.
It's November.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not. I really like the world that they're going to this time, like the region. Not sold on everything else though. It literally just seems like the same fucking thing over again, and that's what I'm disappointed in.
Sword and Shield was it was all right. I mean,
I liked those ones. I didn't love it. I haven't loved one since X and Y, which has now been like 4 or 5 generations.
I actually I skipped that generation. I didn't have a 3DS. I mean, I'm sorry.
I bought a 3D, dude. I bought a 3DS to play that game.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I stopped after Black and White too. I didn't have enough money for a 3DS, so that was kind of like all the way up until there. Black and White.
I have a 3DS again now. My last job, a kid left it, and if someone leaves something, you put your name on it. Kid never came back, so I just kept it. It was there for 2 months. I was like, hey, fuck it. It came with
really mad I missed X and Y because that Mega
X and Y is really awesome, sweet. Man. X and Y is fucking awesome. So I hope it's good. But continuing with the news, guys, more Star Wars games. Apparently, Disney wants a new Star Wars game every 6 months. Honestly, I don't hate the idea because back in the day, that's how it was.
It's the MCU all over again.
It's not the MCU though. If it's
I don't think it's
content. Yeah, like they used to do this. Yeah, like they did this back in the day, and it was great.
No, I know.
Almost every game they released was fun. Besides Force Unleashed 2, that was garbage. That was
what is it? Attack of the Clones for the Sega Genesis.
I never played that one.
I never played, but I know what you're talking about.
It was the soundtrack for it was the weirdest fucking thing to those speakers. It was just it was just the most obnoxious 2D fucking 8-bit shit you could ever play. Like it was horrible. Like you think the Crash Bandicoot 8-bit games were bad? Oh, you have not played Star Wars Attack of the Clones on the fucking Mega Drive.
That's funny.
I want to know what you're like. Do you guys want more Star Wars games? Do you want more Lucasfilm games? I guess just in general. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I want more. I want another Battlefield or Battlefront. I thought the last one by the end of Battlefront 2's days, that game was actually like arguably the best one. Like it ran perfect. It had all the quality content. That's how it should have been released from the start.
You're talking about the new Battlefront,
the newest one. Yeah, the newest one. That was.
I want a Battlefront 3, but I also want like a remakes of the original, not what we've had, but proper remakes or remasters, I should say, of the original Battlefronts, because like those were childhood and everything, and seeing those even in like say you got it on PlayStation or Xbox with like the Xbox Game Pass or on the PlayStation like deluxe membership and everything, with online servers in the classic selection. Even if it was just that, I'd be happy.
Okay.
I mean, when it comes to Star Wars games, I mean, I would like more Star Wars games. I was looking forward to that KOTOR remake, but then they pushed it back, which is fine. It just depends on what kind of games we're talking about here. I know we're getting the new Jedi Fallen Order 2 game. Forgot the name. Jedi Survivor. Yeah, I think that's going to be great. You know, that's Respawn. They did a great job with the first one. Hopefully they introduce fast traveling, but because that was very annoying.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm okay with it. I just don't want it to end up like Assassin's Creed or how Call of Duty were. Like, I mean, technically Call of Duty did release a new game every year, but it was 2 different studios alternating. So it was every 2 years for them or every other year, but every year for us. It just depends on what these games are. Are they free-to-play games? Are they mobile games? Are they going to be these single-player, story-driven games? Like, I mean, I can't see them making AAA story like every 6 months.
And but I think it's a little bit different now. They're giving the license to so many different developers now. Like Ubisoft's making one. EA still has one that they haven't announced fully. I think there's another studio with one. And then it's rumored that ZeniMax has one, which is going to be a Mandalorian open world game. That actually comes out to be true. Which,
is that going to be on that Bounty Hunter game that never came out? Is that going to be
like
that?
That Bounty Hunter game is a mobile game that is actually out in beta right now. I played it. I've played that game. I played the beta. It's not fun. I don't like mobile games, so
I don't either.
Hey, Call of Duty Mobile is the best Call of Duty game since Black Ops 2.
Stop that.
Black Ops 2 was so good.
Black Ops 2 was so good. So, but yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm more interested in? What's this Bethesda Indiana Jones game? That's the one I want.
That's a thing.
Yeah. They announced it a while ago. I don't know how that's going to. I mean, cool. Like, I mean, we have Tomb Raider. I love those games, and now we have Uncharted. What's different with this Indiana Jones game from those other two?
And are they using Harrison? That's my thing. Are they using Harrison? Or
no? He has a whip. That's him.
And he fights Nazis. I don't think they fight Nazis in Tomb Raider or.
Tomb Raider is very good.
Tomb Raider.
I'd fucking hope they don't fight Nazis in Tomb Raider, considering the time era.
I don't know. Back in the day, on the older ones, I don't know.
No,
not even. My friend has like every Tomb Raider game. He has every single one just on his PC. I'm like, why?
Probably.
He's like, because I can.
Because they're amazing. That's why. That's why we got horny over blocky figures back in the 90s. So what?
I remember that.
We still get horny over blocky figures from the 90s.
Tell me about it.
But you know what else a lot of people are getting horny over is Cyberpunk, it feels like. Cyberpunk is having a fucking comeback. And I just want to say, fuck you all, not you two, because you guys aren't playing it, but fuck you all who are now playing it and told me that I was a fucking idiot for loving that game. Because I have multiple friends who was like, this game sucks, blah, blah, blah. Now that animes came out, they're all fucking playing it. And I'm like,
the anime is so...
working.
I watched the first.
I haven't watched it.
I watched the first episode. I liked it. I've liked it so far. I want to watch the rest of it. I did rebuy Cyberpunk. Like, I had it for my PS4. And then I read the reviews and they're like, yeah, it just didn't run that great. So I returned it. That's when Best Buy was like doing all those returns. And then I bought it again on my PC, maybe like a week or two ago. It was like $25, so I picked it up. So I'm definitely gonna jump back into it. I've always wanted to play it. I was just waiting for it to be.
It works. The way that it is now, it should have been from release. There's still
Yeah.
some issues with the story, but like the game is awesome. Like it is, the game's great now, and I still.
I'm hoping I like it as much as I do Witcher because I love the Witcher 3.
Witcher's still better. Witcher's still better.
My issues with Cyberpunk 2077 were never with the bugs or the gameplay. It was with the narrative and the story and the characters. I just never got invested. Like, I repurchased the game a little while ago, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago before the anime even came out, because I saw it was on sale for like $20, $30 or something. I'm like, oh, fuck it. I've got money to spend this fortnight from my pay. I'll do it. And I started playing it again, and I just couldn't get into it. I played for maybe like 4 hours and I got bored. And I just put it down.
And that's fair. That's fair. The story, for me, what brought me in, it wasn't the story. What brought me in was the upgrades, the combat. I love making this character like be such a badass. Like, one of my arms is like a fucking katana blade that just whips out like a praying mantis. My other arm runs guns. Like, I love the upgrade system. So like, I loved running through and just fucking plowing, murdering people and stuff like that. Like, it was so fun.
You see all that shit in the anime. You see all that shit in the anime, but it's just a bunch of flashy fucking action sequences at times where it's like, hey, here's shit that is actually in Cyberpunk 2077, but you dissed the game, but Studio Trigger made a good-looking anime. Now you're going to want to go replay it again because
that's everything how people are. That's how people
But that makes me happy. That like low-key makes me happy that the game has a bigger life now, because for the people who actually created the game, not the studio heads who said we're going to release this game beforehand, for them to get this redemption and finally have people to come play the game and give a new breath of life. Because in fact, this game is actually beaten. It beat the Witcher 3's most consecutive players at a time.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
I thought that was very impressive. I was like, that's insane.
It's wild. So it makes me happy that this game has a new breath of life. The add-on that they're adding in is going to be, from our understanding, a big story DLC like The Witcher 3 got. And I hope that when it releases, it gives another breath of fresh air that, hey, if you didn't like the story for Cyberpunk, that's okay. There's this awesome story that we actually made and took our fucking time with for the last 2 years that I think will be cool. So, Christian,
I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Christian, you back into it? You going to start playing it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to. I really want to get through Horizon first because I feel like it's long overdue. Then I'm going to get into Cyberpunk because I do want to try that. It's just I haven't really played a lot of like multiplayer games in a while. I tried Rumble Versus, I think it was, or Multiverses.
Oh, yeah, I played that for a bit.
It was fun. It was fun. I saved up enough money and I got Arya and I suck as her. So I went back to playing as Finn.
Same. Yep. Finn's the best character. Finn's the best
He's
character.
Very broken, but that's why I like him.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited. Like I'm very happy that a lot of games when they first come out, you know, like it's kind of like No Man's Sky all over again. Now everyone wants to play it, which is great because it can only get better.
Yep.
Like, so I'm excited that people are, you know, like, because CD Projekt Red does make good games. Like, yeah, they definitely dropped the ball. And I've, you know, all you can do is acknowledge it and just fix mistakes you've made. Like, a bad game can get like better eventually, but it's like it also depends on the studio. Like, if they want to put that time and investment into that for their fans. And I don't want to say if Cyberpunk was forced to do it, but they clearly still care about this project. And I was like, yeah, like I want to give it a shot. I want to watch the anime as well. Like I said, I watched the first episode. It was good. I liked it a lot. So I'm just gonna consume it and just have fun with it. Really.
Did you finish the first episode?
Yeah. First episode I did.
I shit you not. He forgets about. I'm not gonna say it because Zach. So spoilers, but he forgets about that character. You know who I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
I think about that character until 6 to 7 episodes later, after a time skip.
Huh. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not expecting it to like wow me. I just like good animation, honestly. So that's why I'm
Studio Trigger. If you liked Kill la Kill or what is it, the tale of the siblings or the brothers or whatever it was from Star Wars Visions, that episode.
Yes.
You're gonna love the
Okay.
animation in this alone because it's the same people with Studio Trigger.
Is the
It's so
story
good.
better though? I didn't like that story from that
No,
episode of Visions, but I like the
no.
animation.
Was
But I like
that the one with the
animation.
Ninth Jedi, or was that a different?
I think it was.
No,
Oh,
one
the
where
twins, the
The
twins.
twins.
Yeah.
That's it. The twins.
That was cool, but I think the Ninth Jedi was my favorite one from
Which one was the
season-
ninth Jedi? Is the one that felt like Miyazaki, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking love that one.
Yeah.
Apparently, the new season of Visions will have a sequel to that one.
It better
that's-
because
Do we know?
I mean-
Do we know what studios are doing the sequel season yet?
I don't know.
No,
I hope
I
Trigger
don't
returns
know.
for a couple. I hope Trigger returns for a couple.
From
because
my
they're
understanding,
very
it's all new
underrated.
ones though. It's all new ones.
Bro, give me Muppet and Ufotable, please. Give me Muppet and Ufotable. I love
Ufotable
them.
is
So
sick.
I want to
much.
see Marvel do it. I want to see Marvel do a Marvel Visions one. I think that'd be fucking cool. To let like Studio Trigger take on, I don't know, fucking Daredevil. Like that would be fucking sick. I
That would
don't
actually
know.
be sick. That would
Give
be
us
sick.
Spectacular Spider-Man again, please.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
That'd be great.
Can
yeah.
you imagine Ufotable doing something along the lines of like Iron Man or Spider-Man with their animation from Demon
Yeah.
Slayer or the upcoming Genshin or Fate?
Yeah. Or
Fate
dude, can you
That'd be
imagine
sick.
if they end up taking like Doctor Strange or I don't know, like, if Ghost Rider came in? Like, dude, there is so much you can do with a
Yeah.
Marvel anime series that I would just fucking love. And speaking
I
of
would
anime, I know
cream.
you'd cream. Okay. Speaking of anime, I actually heard through the grapevine that Black Adam is very anime-ish. Like it's very anime-ish.
It better be.
apparently. Like from the combat
So
and stuff
that's
like that.
why he has no emotion. He's mob psycho as he grew up.
Yeah, pretty much. You
He's
know.
Saitama because he's bald.
Hopefully it'll be better than Don't Worry, Darling. So we'll
No.
just we'll have to
Fingers
pray.
crossed.
I'm
crossed.
skipping. I'm skipping it. I'm waiting for Halloween ends. I don't care.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna watch the
Patrick.
first 2 Halloween movies this weekend because it's been a while since I've seen them.
Mhm.
First
So,
3.
hopefully Halloween ends is good, but the marketing has sucked. Leading on though, the title of this podcast, guys, is Last of Us Part 1 review. Is it worth $70? I think we can all go around and say
Yes.
no. No. It's not
Yes.
worth $70.
Hey,
No.
the haptics
Even-
helped me touch a giraffe.
I don't care. Even
Dude,
as the
I
biggest
totally
fan
forgot
of
about
this,
that
no.
part. I was like, I passed
Yeah.
it. I was like, wasn't
I-
there supposed to be some big thing that they kept talking about? I
I
was
need
like,
to clip it. I literally creamed when that sequence came in because I was waiting the entire stream series I did so I could feel the haptics of touching the giraffe because that
If
was
you-
a big part of that.
If you
marketing.
clip that and send it to me, I will put it in the podcast. Like I will literally
Yes,
intersect it.
I
Right
will do
here.
it. I'll do it.
So, I don't really. So, just to kind of give I guess, a background context. So, this is my favorite video game of all time. The original one and the second one are my favorite games of all time. I'm open for a remaster or what is this? A remake overall?
Remake.
Is this a remake?
technically, it is a remake. Yes.
Okay. So technically, it's a remake.
Be careful,
And
Christian.
it's like besides Horizon, this is the best looking game. This is the best looking game ever made. Like graphically, it's the best looking game. And I honestly, I loved it again. It gave, and I'll give my pros. Like we'll go around, but I really didn't much. I just if you've never played The Last of Us, this is the best version to play. This is the version you should play. Like hands down, don't go back and play the other two. Just play this version. And I'll get to my reasons why. But Patrick, obviously, you have a tattoo from The Last of Us. You love this series. Kind of just give your basic overall thoughts on the series before we dive into our more thoughts on it.
I'm gonna continue making Zach jealous. I have this. Just yeah.
I have a Mass Effect
Oh,
one
man.
that's like that, but I don't have Last of Us. Maybe
It's
one
so
day.
Pretty. It's so pretty.
So good, man. Part 2's combat, can't beat it. Can't beat it.
True. You can't, man. But I
Yeah,
guess I
but-
just showed Patrick how much he loves The Last of Us. Christian, how much do you love The Last of Us?
Oh, it is. I've always tried to figure out what was my favorite video game of all time for a very long time because I'm very, very indecisive. I would probably say it is The Last of Us because I've beaten that game so many times. I platinumed the remake. When it comes to the price for us who have played this game, whether you came in 2014 or I came in at 2013 for the 2013 version. I was playing at my friend's house. That's how I played it. But I was like, okay, for someone who's never played the game ever before, $70 probably isn't going to seem like a very big deal to someone who's new to this world altogether. Like for someone who's never played it, I would say maybe, but honestly, it's like it's hard because I'm trying not to give a biased opinion because for me, I was able to buy it because I traded in a few games in an old controller. So I got it for around like $25 out of pocket. Now, in retrospect, I feel like this game should have been $50 because it is a remake and it looks beautiful. It's like almost as if you're playing the game all over again. Obviously, we know what happens, but something just didn't feel right. I was like, oh yeah, like everyone's like, how is it? I'm like, oh, it's great, but I mean, it's The Last of Us. Like, it's the same story. You know, everything's has that nice little facelift. It looks fantastic. It plays great. I know a lot of people were I'm still iffy on the mechanics because much like Plague Tale, Innocence, for both games, like the story is fantastic. I do wish the combat for The Last of Us remake was a little bit different. I know it is for the AI. Like that really did change up the game for sure.
Yeah, the AI was way smarter this time.
But
around.
when I saw an AI dodge one of my punches, I got a little triggered. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, so they get the upgrades, they get the gameplay. I stay the same as Joel, which is
even clickers. Like I don't remember ever walking like head onto a clicker or behind them, making zero sound, even just standing in front of them and then noticing me. I just sit there go, what the fuck? Like I'd be sitting there not making a sound, and the bitch is just staring at me, and then it notices me. I'm like, fuck you.
It's crazy. But I did enjoy my time with the game. I decided to platinum it because I do love this world so much. And
you were stuck it in.
I'm a shell, man. Like I really am. Like it sucks. I don't think I wish there was an upgrade path for this for people who own like the remastered. I'm not saying that this remake shouldn't exist because there are a lot of amazing accessibility options that the remaster didn't have. But I will say the remaster did fix a lot of the technical issues from the PS3 version for sure. But I mean, you also are missing factions, but we know that they're making a separate game for that for Naughty Dog. But I did enjoy myself. This game should have been a no-brainer for everyone. This should have been $50 in my opinion, at least for someone who's played it multiple times, and for even for newcomers. Because like I mean, yeah, they're treating this as like a PlayStation 5 game, but like it's still a remake of a version of a game that came out. I mean, the game came out like 9 years ago, so it hasn't even hit the 10-year anniversary. But at the same time, I feel like it is a bit of a cash grab because it's like, oh, what's coming up? The Last of Us HBO show that's coming out in 2023. And I mean, I don't necessarily think that the show needs a video game counterpart to, you know, like much like they were for Cyberpunk. Now everyone's watching the show. Now they want to go back and play the game. But that's just how marketing is.
But that's what's going to happen when the show comes out. Whoever's never played that fucking game,
they'll have a new version.
Go buy it. Or if you have, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, there's that new version. Oh, it's like $50 now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go buy it.
I think it's fine. There is nothing wrong with remaking a game. I totally understand why they wanted to because they were limited on that stupid cell processor on the PlayStation 3 to begin with. So I can understand, you know, these are technical, you know, marvels. These are technicians who are like, hey, like we can make it better. So let's make it better. Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's great. I have no problem with it being remade. It was just the price. I was like, ooh, when I saw that $70, I was like, that's messed up. At least I felt a little taken advantage of it. I know that's a little harsh to say, but it's like, I know they're saying, and I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant here, but people are saying, oh, you know, it is technically for new players. This new remake is for people who've never played the game. But guess who's going to buy the game day one? The Last of Us fans. Hardcore day one fans are going to buy this day one. You're not going to have, I mean, you're probably going to have a lot of people who end up buying it, but like majority of your sales are going to come from your longtime fans. So that's why I don't necessarily agree that this is only for fans. I feel like Naughty Dog knows exactly what they're doing. Like you're giving me The Last of Us with like, you know, these upgraded graphics from like part 2. I mean, the gameplay, little less to be desired, but like it still felt great, you know, with the haptic feedbacks. But
I was gonna say, did you get pulled in thanks to the haptics, Christian?
No,
Was
I
it the
didn't.
haptics, you were just that immersed because the haptic triggers.
I haven't been like ever like the only game that's done haptics well is Astro's Playroom, like the one that came with a PlayStation 5.
Horizon,
I feel like
too. I think Horizon was great.
We'll see. Yeah, I haven't played.
I think the Quarry actually did it surprisingly well.
Oh, really? Okay, I never played that yet.
The Quarry did it very well, in my opinion.
But yeah,
let me be honest with something real fast though.
Yeah.
I forgot to turn haptic back on because I turned it off for shooters. So I got halfway through The Last of Us, and I'm like, "Where's the haptic feedback?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I turned it off."
The haptics keep pushing.
I can't touch the giraffe.
Yeah,
they keep pushing this.
Definitely went back and turned that back on.
It was just the marketing for this game as well. It's like Naughty Dog should not have had to release so many videos about what the changes were for this game as they did. This should have been a no-brainer, $50. It's like, oh yeah, like I'll pick that up for sure. Like absolutely. Why did Naughty Dog have to release multiple videos explaining what's different for this game? None of that should have been a thing, but I do feel like they might have shot themselves in the foot if they ever want to do a part 2. I guess whatever people are saying, like a director's cut or like a remaster or remake. It's like, I mean, I get it, you know, like you want people to play this game the best of its abilities. I have no issues with it being remade. It's just that price was just a little steep, at least from a longtime fan for me, because I bought this game multiple times. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might pull eventually they might just get rid of the remastered altogether and just have the digital for the that's that doesn't exist anymore. But I did enjoy it. You know, it's a fantastic game. I would probably say it's my favorite game of all time because I'm gonna buy it again on PC, but I'm definitely gonna wait for a sale
for all the mods.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
do you hope the mouse has haptics?
What?
All right, Patrick, you want to keep talking about the haptics. Talk about your experience with this game.
I'm so tired of those haptics.
I enjoyed touching the giraffe. I'm kidding. The thing is, I'll defend this game, especially with the lack of like new movement mechanics, because I take into account the fact that when the game came out in 2013, it was using the PS3 hardware. It couldn't render bigger, more open locations like what we saw in The Last of Us Part 2. So therefore, prones and dodges and, dives couldn't be used as mechanics because they're a lot tighter, a lot more claustrophobic environments. So therefore, you'd have the issues of constantly running into fucking walls, which you wouldn't want. So I think having a lack of that isn't really a big shame to me, because there were stuff such as, environments felt more lived in. They looked a lot just... Visually alone, I felt like this game was more impressive than anything I could have asked for. Like, even the smallest of details, like seeing raindrops running off of their guns in that opening sequence with Tessa and Ellie and Joel going through those pipes. And there were some changes I noticed, especially with like enemy locations, where I was like, wait, you're not fucking meant to be there. Especially, that bloater section towards the end of the game. I remember there only being fucking one of those bricks.
Same. And there's like
3.
There was 3. There was fucking 3. And I'm like, I have no ammunition. What the fuck do I do? Like, I'm sitting there running away in circles trying to craft fucking nail bombs. And I'm like, go the fuck away. And I'm just throwing them, hoping to God they'd piss off and die, because I didn't take into account, oh shit, earlier in the game there was more enemies in certain locations. This might be the same here. Nope, didn't take that into account. Biggest boss fight of the entire fucking game, though, I found was the fucking generator at the school. I spent 10 to 15 stupid fucking minutes trying to plug that damn generator in to let Ellie and the fucking horse through. And you know what? I felt like an idiot when I realized I just had to run over the fucking cord. What? Are you fucking kidding me? That was dumb, and that felt like a Dark Souls boss to an extent. But anyway, overall, like, I wouldn't say it's worth the fucking arm and a leg I had to sacrifice to buy this game. Like $125 on the standard. Holy shit!
And he lives in Australia.
I live in Australia, so that's Australian dollars. But just letting you know, that's still more expensive. Like, that's about $90 US, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still spending an extra like $20 US dollars to what you guys are, and I don't think it's worth that much. And that's just the standard, not even the Firefly edition. Like,
I bought the Firefly.
I didn't think you were gonna get it on day one, Zach. I thought
Dude,
it was gonna.
Dude, I was sitting at work and I'm like messaging a rep from Sony, and I'm like, this better fucking be there tomorrow. I shit you not, dude. Like, I feel like they went downstairs and they're like, throw it in a bag and just send it out right now. Like,
I mean, did it turn up damaged?
Oh yeah, it came fucking damaged.
Fuck.
So.
Austin's wasn't. Austin's came in perfect.
Austin is literally the only person I know that got it in a fucking box. I got it in a fucking mail envelope.
Really? That is terrible.
Dude,
this is why I buy in store and not online, people.
But it was, I would have gone to the store and bought it if it was in stores. Like, I hate buying online. Yeah. I hate anything that's physical media. I would rather go to a store and physically buy than order from somewhere. I just ordered.
You gotta get the best package.
That's the thing. I just ordered a Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like on a deal from some website.
Oh yeah.
Came in and the fucking box is all fucked up.
That's what I'm worried about.
Runs fine.
That's what I'm worried with that box set I sent you, Zach, in regards to that Saw Collector's Edition. It's like this really awesome, only 1,500 available Collector's Edition of all 9 Saw movies and everything. And it comes with this big box set with the reverse bear trap and everything. I am so fucking scared that when that thing arrives on my doorstep on November 9th, that it's going to be fucking dented. And if it's fucking dented, I swear I am suing Lionsgate. Because fuck them.
I don't blame you, dude. But that's my thing. I hate buying stuff physically or in person because it always comes in damaged, and that's my thing. I guess that's completely different rant.
Yeah.
Is this game great? Abso-fucking-lutely. I cried harder. I'm not gonna spoil it just for the sake of like the show's coming up, and people may have never played the game that are watching this or listening. But the opening 20 minutes, just.
SpaghettiOs.
I have never seen more realistic eyes in a game. The eyes on Joel look so realistic.
It was crazy because like we're so used to like the remaster. I played it so many times, so I'm used to like when I think The Last of Us, I think of those graphics. Like I think of the remastered graphics. Like it wasn't jarring. It was just it took me a second to get used to everything. But sorry, go ahead.
And it's just like I just sat there and I'm like, oh my god, why am I crying harder? I've watched this scene 30 times. You know, I've gone through this game so many times, and then even Left Behind's DLC. That's the one thing I wish they would have just inputted it into the story. I don't like that it was separate.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were going to do that. I think I like it separately because I feel like if they threw that in, it really just the pacing of the game just. I don't know.
That's something I'm worried about with the TV show. If that's because they are meshing
the show
it,
is doing
really
it. Yeah.
I'm really
and I'll say that right now.
Into the pacing.
I'll say that right now. They like 100% where you see him, happens in the game. That is happening the same way in the show. So I'm very interested to see how they do that because that's a risk. It's definitely a risk.
Yeah.
But the difference between the show and the game is the game has to have gameplay. It has to have you sneaking around for 4 hours. It has to have that, where the show really just needs to do story. Like that's all they really need to do. They'll have like the action moments, the stealth moments, but the show's going to have a lot more story context than the game will. And that's a whole other debate that we can talk about later. But
I need to see Joel picking up gears to upgrade his weapons. I need to watch Joel crouching and picking up gears throughout the show. I need to see Pedro
benches.
I need to see Ellie. I need to see Ellie knock over a vase and go, "Oh, sorry," and have the enemy AI not fucking notice.
I need her to push over the mannequin. Fuck you looking at?
What moment I'm really excited to see in the show, which I don't think they're doing from just the trailer, is this isn't a big spoiler.
With, machete, the guy being hacked with the machete.
Oh, they're doing that. They're doing that.
I'm really excited to see that because I'm gonna laugh.
It's the scene when he gets flown upside down, and Bill finds it. I don't think they're doing that.
Oh, that would be so cool.
And the reason I'm saying they're not doing it is because when you see Bill in the trailer, it looks like they're in a hole.
Yeah, I feel like that is a very video game thing, and I'm really hoping that the show. I want the show to be different. Like if this is beat for beat the same thing, I don't need it. But I'm hoping it's different.
I won't go into too much. They're pretty much what this show is what Neil Druckmann wanted to do with the game from the very beginning. But he had to cut stuff. He had to obviously because of budget restraints, the power. So this is the different. Like this is what originally was. So Tess is supposed to be getting more background.
Yeah.
The girl from Yellow Jackets, I can never remember her name.
I know Ellie's mom's supposed to be in it.
Ellie's mom is in
Apparently,
it.
that's supposed to
Weren't
be
her
in
and
it.
Marlene? Weren't her and Marlene meant to be like in a relationship together? Ellie's mum and Marlene.
I'm not 100%.
Maybe.
I saw
I don't
something
know.
about that the other day, and I'm like, wait, was this cut content or is this just a thing I missed from the fucking game and a collectible?
I don't.
I think that what the show could do is go more into Ellie's parents when it comes to that.
Which
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, I
say that,
think
yeah.
I think I know who's playing Ellie's mom. So, but I won't say anything.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say who's playing David either. That's a.
I know.
I
because
know.
you've spoken to me.
I know. Troy Baker's supposed to be in it too.
Yeah.
But I have my suspicions, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. Some guy I've talked to, he messaged me one thing a while ago, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then the trailer confirmed that the actress was in it, and I was like, oh, I wonder if everything else he just told me was fucking real too. So,
and then
I'm assuming how it is.
Then you told me that David thing a couple months ago from what that guy said as well, and I'm just sitting here going, I'm really like,
it's a good thoughts, but I mean, overall, I don't think the game's worth $70. I don't, definitely not fucking 120, Patrick. Not fucking at all. Not even the Firefly edition was worth what it had. But I will say, yeah, I will say this. I think the game is worth at least 50 to 60. I think the upgrade, is it worth it graphically? Yes. Do I wish they did a little bit more with the gameplay? Like the dodge button should have been in there. I don't care anything. That at least the dodge button.
If Abby can dodge, Joel can dodge. Joel's not that old. I can understand not being able to go prone because that means you have to restructure every single level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, and in the meantime, Joel can go see the local chiropractor down the road. Right?
Yeah. But like that's a whole thing. Like there's so many remakes out there. You have the remake of Final Fantasy VII where it's like a completely different game. But then you have remakes like this. I like to call more of like a remake-ster because like it is a remake in a sense, but it feels like a remaster of a remaster. But yeah.
But the way that I look at it, sometimes if it's not broke, then don't change it. Like one of my
no, for sure. Don't
Resident Evil in 2002, like the GameCube version was a remake of the original, and the only thing that was really changed was adding in 2 different enemies, an entire section added in, and graphical. That's it. Everything else was the exact fucking same from story, gameplay, everything.
And they want to kind of preserve that, which makes sense.
And The Last of Us sort of did the exact same thing with smarter enemy AIs, with certain locations, like their layouts and everything. The environmental changes were there, and they want to preserve what made it special in the first place without changing it. And Demon's Souls did the same thing aside from omnidirectional movement, graphical changes, lighting improvements. Like, for me personally, I don't have a big problem. Like the price tag, fuck yes, I have a problem with that. Holy shit, that's a week worth.
That was my only big gripe with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas everything else, I don't need a dodge mechanic or anything like that. I would feel more comfortable having a remake be from the ground up, but being able to preserve what made it so special and authentic in the first place, at least for me. And I think it does come down to personal preference depending on the player as well.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
I guess, okay, so let's go around and talk about scores. Out of 10, what would you guys give it? Christian, I'll let you start.
It's 10 out of 10. I mean, it's the exact same game I played, all these years. It's the exact same game. I mean, it looks phenomenal. It really does. I mean, and I also liked the the different like clothes and stuff you can get. I was a little annoyed with the Last of Us Part 2 thing. I was like, so that's there, but the dodge button isn't there. But that's such a small little nitpick thing.
It's taunting you. Naughty Dog knows. There's this guy, Christian, we want to piss off.
But I liked it. I like how you can, change like their clothes and stuff was really cool. I mean, Ellie had the best stuff. I mean,
all the different Sony shirts too, dude. The second
that was cool.
One.
The Jack
Daxter.
Yeah, the goggles, the Kill Bill outfit for Ellie. I thought that was great. I wasn't super crazy how I had to like wait until my first playthrough to unlock everything because it's not that it doesn't have replayability, but it's like once I was done, I mean, I went back and like, platinum it or whatever. I got a few more things, but once I was done, I was kind of just done. Like I didn't want to
turn on any cheats.
When you absolutely! As soon as
explosive arrows.
I blew
Carnage.
through the Last of Us, the Left Behinds. I was like, I'm turning on explosive arrows.
That's what I did.
Like,
that's what I did on
I'm
stream.
not wasting any more time. I am blowing through this thing. I've played this thing 1,000 times. I know what happens, so I'm good.
Turned into Legolas right there.
Yes,
Fucking
Legolas. It was fun.
I'm a little bit disappointed. No permadeath or no grounded trophy. I will say that's my one thing.
I'm
There's
so
no
happy about
trophies
that.
to those.
Thank fuck.
I'm not.
Thank fuck. I don't have the time or
grounded.
patience.
I could do grounded. I don't know if I could do permadeath.
Permadeath's not bad if you do it in chapters. So permadeath counts if you just beat the chapter as permadeath. That's how you get it. Yeah. So like if you do chapter 1 and then say you die in chapter 2, just load up chapter 2 and just restart all of chapter 2.
Oh, okay. So it's not like what was that Demon Souls or Dark Souls where you die, you literally have to start at the very beginning. I forgot what it was.
Returnal.
Yeah, Returnal. I was like,
fuck,
I don't know about that.
I'm starting my Returnal Platinum run soon, and I am dreading that. I want to fucking die. I did it with Alien Isolation ages ago, where I did the hardest difficulty, no death run, and I wanted. Oh, fuck me.
I remember BioShock 2 had that, and that was like the only one I did. I did it all in my first playthrough.
Oh, BioShock's was fine though. BioShock's was actually fair. That was fair. Except my idiot ass didn't realize until afterwards that I had the fucking PlayStation camera and microphone option on for Alien Isolation. I didn't realize, and that's what made it so difficult. Nice. The moment I turned that off, it was so much fucking easier.
I bet. But Patrick, 10 out of 10 for you, I'm guessing too.
I'm giving it a 9.5, like I gave it, the remake.
Nope, you're done. All right. So this is he's out. He's gone. He's out. He's done.
For game of the year, really quick, do you? I mean, I don't think
a 10 out of 10
I don't think
game.
this needs to be nominated. Is that Chris? Oh no,
bro.
It's
nah, bro. It's the oui version. It's the French.
Oh man, wow.
I'll agree with you. I mean, 10 out of 10 for me, but if it should not be nominated whatsoever, this should not.
I don't think it should. If it does, I don't know the whole Game Awards thing, because now magically they're gonna have a best video game TV adaptation after we have The Last of Us coming out next year, which basically tells me that's what's gonna win next year. I'm like, why wasn't this implemented like a few years ago? It feels too convenient. We're like, oh, we know The Last of Us coming out. Let's start a video game, best video game adaptation, which I think is cool, but at the same time, I don't know why they're implementing that, because I want to talk about video games. Like, this is not the Oscars, this is not the Emmys, and I know that is what Jeff Keighley wants this to be. But the thing I like about the Game Awards is that it doesn't really matter what wins Game of the Year, because it's not like it's different from the Oscars, where it's like best picture. Not saying that winning Game of the Year doesn't mean anything, but it's a different atmosphere. It is a different award ceremony. It actually feels like a celebration of all things video games. That's what I like about the Game Awards. I feel like the Oscars doesn't do that. I feel like Emmys do for TV, but I don't feel like the Oscars really celebrates everything movie related. It's just but anyway, but I think it is kind of weird how they're adding that, because like it's supposed to be a video game event. Like, I mean, I don't know. That's just me. I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
What else would they even have at that awards though for that fucking award?
Maybe Cyberpunk, the show.
No, it would be this year though, because that's
Halo.
Coming out.
I think Halo
season 2, because that's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah. Season 2 is coming out.
So that would probably be nominated. Aren't we getting like a new fucking Horizon show next year, or God of War show next year?
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting, not next year, but I know Netflix is supposed to do Horizon, and I think Amazon's supposed to do
Prime's doing God of War.
Yeah.
Netflix is completely.
The Gran Turismo movie.
To be honest, though, it'll most likely be a lot of different smaller stuff that's not really like even talked about yet. Like, I'm sure if you went through and actually looked at adaptions, like. Did we actually know Edgerunners was coming out? Like, Edgerunners just fucking dropped pretty much. Like,
Netflix
is really bad at advertising. So a lot of these same with their Cuphead show. Like,
I mean, Netflix. That's Netflix's fault. If it's not Stranger Things, it's not getting that push.
No, not at all.
The only thing that pushed that shitty Resident Evil show were the fucking meme-worthy clips. Like, I want Pornhub to shred your resume.
I just feel like there's so far and few in between when it comes to the video game
It's not worth it.
adaptations.
No.
Like we have a
like
few
the anime
but...
shows of fucking video games are really good. Like some of those anime fucking, whether it's 3D animation or 2D animation or video games, are great. Like
Arcane was great.
Yeah, Cyberpunk, fucking Cuphead, or the Resident Evil ones. And yeah, I guess.
Did you just say?
Whatever.
You just said Cuckhead.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know that.
But does it have haptic feedbacks though?
Bro, you know what? I'm gonna download Cuphead and I'm gonna see if it has haptics later. Because I want to see if I can feel my rage through the controller.
I'm just
you'll feel it because your controller will be fucking broken in an hour. But
yeah.
Oh, that what Squadrons did to me.
Oh god. But to tie it all up, guys, this is Critics Play Games podcast. We recap the kind of the month or month and a half and talk about one big topic, and that's us three. Brett as well, but he's not here, and he loves The Last of Us. We all love The Last of Us. And
we all love Brett.
Yeah, we do love Brett. But other than that, let's kind of tie this up, guys. Patrick, what do you got coming up, and where can people find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, which is just simply Patrick Barrow. I'm going to be reacting to the entirety of Chainsaw Man and My Hero Academia starting this month in October. And I have a very special interview for Chainsaw Man coming soon, which I'm very, very excited for. I will be, the moment we can organize it properly, interviewing Ryan Colt Levy from, Rhodey Soul fame from My Hero Academia and many other projects. He's playing the main character in Chainsaw Man's dub. Super excited to interview him. And, I've got other movie reactions. I'm actually watching Monster House again for a reaction, which I'm excited for.
Good pick.
And then doing my Evil Within, or I've got Evil Inside, which I'm probably going to stream tomorrow to sort of make a video for that this weekend as another PT sort of clone video to discuss, which I'm intrigued about. So, yeah, just movie reactions. I'll have my Halloween Ends review up next week. So, yeah, plenty of stuff, actually. Lots.
Awesome. Christian, what about you? What do you got coming up?
Man, for our podcast, Film Optics, you can follow. First, thank you for having me on. I know it's been crazy. I feel like I haven't been around for a while just because, man, we're covering so much on the podcast. I'm like, I need a bit of a.
I know. I'm waiting till all these, dude. I'm gonna be so happy when all these shows are over. Like,
seriously, man. I'm like, can these studios like start talking to each other? Because wow, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But as of right now, you can follow or find our audio-only podcast, Film Optics. That is Optics with an X, on major podcast platforms around the internet, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. Right now, we're just going through House of the Dragon each and every week, giving our spoiler-free reviews. We're able to drop those a few days early for everyone. So definitely check out those. Well, yeah, now kind of. But we actually just finished up our Avatar: The Last Airbender series revisited with Book 3 Fire. I had some amazing guests join me on that. So definitely just check out all of our stuff that we're, pumping out for the podcast. We're also covering She-Hulk. And we did Don't Worry, Darling. We reviewed that as well. We have a few more other things coming up. The Midnight Club, we have that coming out October 7th, our spoiler-free review for that. And yeah, just a few of those things. There's just so much going on. But just follow us at Film Optics. Again, that's Optics with an X.
Hey, and that's how it goes. But for me, it's the same thing. Movies, TV, same thing as these guys covering over on my channel, just Zach Pope. And then more gaming videos too. Lots of games coming up. But other than that, I don't really have too much that's a little bit different from them. I did start a new video essay series. The first one came out last week as this was recording, called Avatar in 2022. It's still fucking awesome. I don't care what anyone says. I love blue monkeys jumping around in space.
And when they have sex.
Yeah, which is funny. The re-release had a different sex scene, which was funny. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
now I really need to see it.
It's the extended edition. So if you've seen the extended edition, they took the sex scene from there and put it in there. They reshaped the story a bit to fit more of what James Cameron would want. But other than that, thank you so much, guys, for watching this. This is Critics Play Games podcast. Let us know down below your guys' thoughts. What topics do you guys want us to talk about? I think the next one will probably be about Gotham Knights or Modern Warfare.
If anyone ends up playing Plague Tale, that'd be great. Fun little topic.
Please come in and talk about that. But other than that, thank you so much again for watching. And of course, until next time, keep playing games.